The stimulus drama continues, and we have multiple people out urging for the stimulus negotiations to continue. Hey everyone, this is your stimulus update, including the second stimulus check update. But hey, as always, my videos pertain to everybody, including Social Security, retirement, disability and survivors, SSI, supplemental security income, VA, RRB, low income, and no income. But hey, welcome back to another video. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. All right, let's get right into this. Today is Thursday, October 8th, and this is your stimulus update. So let's jump into this. This morning, as every Thursday morning, the weekly jobless claims were released. Now, the reason that I bring you this information is because this influences the talks about stimulus, because if they continue to watch this and see that multiple people are continuing to apply for unemployment benefits each and every week, the more people applying for unemployment benefits, the greater the likelihood that we get stimulus, and the greater the likelihood that we possibly get more stimulus in the future, as well as more stimulus checks. So this morning, 840,000 people applied for unemployment benefits last week. In addition to that, if we add in all of the people, the self-employed, the gig workers, the contractors, all of these people who are also included that have been able to draw on unemployment benefits, we are near 1.5 million unemployment claims once again last week. That's a huge number. Basically every week it is about 1.5 million people when we include everybody. So that's a huge number. That's released every Thursday, so I always want to bring that to you. Very interesting. Also, we have a lot of Republicans calling out for the stimulus negotiations to continue. At the same time, yesterday, we have Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin talking about Airline Aid, and they have plans to speak once again today, continuing negotiations. So this is good. As of yesterday, like I said, they were just talking about the Airline Aid because, as we know, airlines are begging for another $25 billion in bailouts. I don't know about you, all of you, but maybe we should put a price tag. Let's throw like $300 billion out there, and all of us should start begging. And maybe that'll get them to start thinking and talking about us for once, the people. I don't know. What's the strategy? What do you guys think? What should we do to be heard? Because clearly a few CEOs from the airlines get together and beg for $25 billion and they get it almost immediately, whereas the people, we've been begging for how many months now and still waiting. So I don't know. Let's come together on some kind of strategy to get these people to work in the best interest of us. At the same time, Nancy Pelosi has been out reiterating the point that she does not want a piecemeal bill, but rather suggesting that President Trump just wants his name on checks. What she's referring to here is, if we remember back to the first stimulus checks, there was a lot of controversy because apparently President Trump's name was in the memo on those checks. I personally never saw one of the checks, but yeah, so that's what she's referring to in this little stab at President Trump once again. As we know, all of these people are not huge fans of each other. They basically hate each other, and it makes it really awkward when it comes time to negotiate. All right, at the same time, I laugh because it's just ridiculous. I mean, we're all adults here. We should be able to handle this in an adult manner and work through negotiations rather than just insult each other all the time. I feel like it's really unfortunate. At the same time, we have Representative Tom Reed, who is a Republican, out saying we are within inches of getting a deal done. Let's not walk away now. So again, yeah, he's urging again, we're so close to a deal. Why are we walking away now? It just doesn't make any sense. He also went on to say, we believe a $1.7 trillion stimulus bill was just around the corner, which is actually interesting, this $1.7 trillion number. The reason I say that is because that's the first time we've heard of this $1.7 trillion number. Previously, we were hearing the $1.5 trillion from the Republicans and the $2.2 trillion from Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. We really haven't heard any other numbers in the middle there, but it's interesting that he says this 1.7 trillion because, it sounds like they're actually coming together. This is good. This is exactly what we've been waiting for. We know that these people have been negotiating back and forth, but we haven't had a whole lot of updates as far as where are they coming together. We've heard a few different points, like Nancy last week pointed out 5 different sticking areas that she was concerned about that they were working through one by one, just like everybody should do with a negotiation, right? Sit down, hammer them out one by one. Let's go through this. At the same time, we have the Problem Solvers Caucus, again, out calling for all of these people for negotiations to continue. As we know, the Problem Solvers Caucus is a bipartisan group of 25 Democrats, 25 Republicans. I've talked about them a few times in the last couple of months here. And they are once again out asking for everybody to come together and negotiate through this. They want everybody to come together. So it's interesting that we have multiple Republicans, we have multiple Democrats, everybody essentially calling out for the resumption of all of these stimulus talks, because it's like we're getting so close. Why would we walk away from this right now? Super interesting. However, we do know that some of the sticking points that Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin are dealing with within this current stimulus package are a few issues, and that is one being, are the stimulus checks going to include ITIN individuals out there? As we know, these people were unfortunately missed out on in the first stimulus check. They were not included. These people are those individuals who are working here, paying taxes, but yet they do not have a social security number. Sometimes people refer to these people as undocumented. I don't like to say that. I feel like that's a rude way to refer to these people. I don't like to say that, but that's what another way that people refer to these people, as undocumented. But anyway, they're the ITIN. There's negotiation back and forth as whether these people are going to be included on the next stimulus check. I really hope so. Personally, I hope so. I mean, seriously, if they're here working, paying taxes like the rest of us, why wouldn't they be included? It doesn't seem right to exclude these people when they're here acting the same way that all of us are, paying taxes. Why would they be excluded? I don't know. I feel like everybody's hurting right now, not just select groups of people. Let's help out everybody, because everybody needs the relief at this time. Also, there's additional negotiations on the unemployment benefits, those federal unemployment benefits. Are those going to remain at a level that could potentially exceed prior wages? If somebody was working, would it exceed those wages? Remember back with that $600 federal boost that people were getting, there was a lot of controversy about that, of people saying, hey, this isn't right. It's disincentivizing people to go back to work. Well, I'm pretty sure if people had the option to go back to work, they probably would. So I personally don't really think that's disincentivizing people. But at the same time, if people are out of work because of no fault of their own, because of everything going on right now, I mean, throw the people the money, spend it. You know what? The money's just going to go right back into the economy anyway, which is what they want, which is the whole purpose behind this stimulus package. So, I mean, what's the difference if you give them 600 or 400? I mean, it's all going to shuffle right back into the economy anyway, because people need this to pay their bills. They need it to pay for groceries and everything else. So, I don't know, whatever. But they don't care about my opinion, and realistically, all of you don't care about my opinion. I don't want to throw that out there. I just want to throw this, the information down. So, at the same time, this is interesting. Republicans are not Republicans, sorry about that. Democrats, multiple Democrats have been reporting that they've been receiving a flood of phone calls for people desperately calling out for their stimulus checks, those people who have not received their first stimulus checks, as well as people desperately calling out for a second stimulus check, as well as people calling, desperately urging them to pass additional unemployment benefits. So this is really interesting, because I've seen in the comment section multiple times over the last several months of people saying, hey, I called my local congressperson, I called my local representatives. This is great. We're finally getting some record of these people actually saying, hey, we're getting a flood of phone calls. This is awesome. The reason is, the more people that we can get calling these people and reaching out, expressing our, cries for our distress calls right now, saying, hey, we need some support. We need additional stimulus. The more people we can get calling out and saying that, the better it's going to be in the end, because you know what? I mean, they need to work through this stimulus deal. So as of right now, that's about the stimulus negotiations. That's about what we have for stimulus updates as of this morning. However, as we know, this is a fluid situation. Things are changing rapidly, and I'll continue to keep you updated. If I need to be back later this afternoon, of course, I will do that. Enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you.